Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Fats from Weeb Club, and today we got a very special video. Today, I'm gonna be bringing you guys a Skypiea One Piece arc review. It's just me by myself because they have all watched One Piece. If y'all don't know, I am currently still not done with One Piece. I currently have just finished the Water 7 arc, which was just an unbelievable arc. I'm going to bring you guys reviews for every single arc, especially because I'm currently watching it. I don't have to go back. So today we got a very special arc review. The Skypiea arcs. I'm basically gonna be talking about the characters, the settings, the plots, the fights, and the ending. So basically, I'm gonna be telling you guys all that and what I thought about all of it. Let's get straight into it. Alright, y'all. So I'm basically going to tell you guys how this all went down. They found out about an island called Jida, which was on the Blue Sea, not the Sky Island. And they were asking people how to get to the Sky Island because they wanted to go to the Sky Island. And they met this guy Bellamy there, another pirate, a New Age pirate who had a bounty of about 55 million and all this stuff. And they basically don't believe in dreams. They were like, you can't go there, like that doesn't exist. They were laughing at them, beating them up because they thought they were dumb. All this stuff, right? So basically, that happened, and then they found someone on the island that did believe in the Sky Island and showed them how to get there. To get there, they had to ride up a knock-up stream, which was in the sea, and they basically had to go up the sea. So they get to the Sky Island, and when they get there, they reach a girl, and her name is Konus, and her father, Pagaya, I think his name was, something like that, right? They meet them, right? They come, and they're very friendly. They let them come into their house. They introduce them to some of the Skypiea society. When they got there, right, they were being friendly with these people that came, right? And then all of a sudden, right, so where they are in there right now is Angel Beach. They were located at Angel Beach, right? The whole gang was, all of Luffy, everyone, right? Nami ended up going for a ride, and then while she was gone, they had to pay, I think it was 7 million berries to come into Skypiea. Luffy's squad did. So obviously they didn't have that kind of money. She ended up going back and telling Luffy the news, right? And while Nami was gone, Luffy already heard about the upper yard from the girl that they met, Konus, and Luffy wanted to go there really bad. And also they came here for gold because they heard that the city of gold was here. So they start packing up to leave the island, right, to escape, right? They already had beaten up who confronted them, but they were a bunch of just weak government soldiers, whatever, right? Zoro and the rest, so Chopper, Robbie, and Nami, they go to the ship, right? And they're trying to figure out a way to escape. They don't know how to escape, whatever. They don't know how to like get out from the Sky Island without dying, whatever, right? So Konus goes to the ship while Luffy and them are getting the food and tells Nami there's a way to escape safely without dying. And then all of a sudden, the ship is getting taken away by itself, and they didn't know why, right? And it got taken to the upper yard. Konus ended up having to take Luffy and Usopp and Sanjay to the town, right, to get on, like, some boat that brings them to Upper Yard. Not the same exact spot. But while they were going, Konus couldn't help her guilt but say she's the reason why the boat got taken away, right? Because she did it because the government would have captured her if they didn't, because they knew that they were criminals already, and they were just people that lived in the Sky Island. Luffy, and you know how they are, they forgave her. So now they're in a predicament. Now they're in the upper yard, which was the place that they all die. That's not the place you want to be. So Luffy ended up obviously has to go get his ship and get his crew members to leave. Konus brings Luffy to basically a spot where there's mini boats, and the boats take you to the upper yard. So basically they were sent to the upper yard, right? Zoro and them, and they were sent there because that's where the god, whose name is Enru, is basically controlled over, right? And that's where they get sentenced to death because they don't survive from there. And that's where his priests are, which you see in the pictures right here. There's 5 priests and Enru. Zoro and Nami and Robin went out to look for stuff, right? Through the island. They got off the boat. Chopper stayed and was watching the Mary. Like I said with Konus, she led them to where they had to go to get into the upper yard, even though it wasn't the same spot. Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp ended up going through something called the Milky Road, and it was basically they went there, and then they had to go through like whichever one they picked, which was to one of the priests, right? So basically they went into the ordeal of balls, and that was one of the balls priests, and they went there and they had to fight one of the priests. It was a tough fight, you know. Obviously they managed, they ended up beating him. It was a really tough fight. Like, Sanjay was down for the count, Usopp was down for the count, so was Luffy, but they ended up finding a way. They actually ended up meeting Zoro and them. Eventually they ended up getting together, right? They found each other, right? and they're basically game planning because they really don't know what's going on, right? They know that the city of gold that I mentioned earlier is in this island, in the upper yard. So that's basically what they're set out to do. They were basically set out to just find the gold and leave. So they ended up game planning that night and having a plan to set out in the morning to do it. But little did they know a bunch of stuff was about to happen. The upper yard is also a part of Jada, the island that they originally came from, the guy that told them how to get into it. That's what they realized, and they knew that that was the city of gold. So that's how they knew that this island was somehow gone into the sky for a long time ago, 400 years ago. So that's what they figured out while they were there. That's what Zoro and Nami and Robin ended up figuring out. So that's how they all knew that. So this is when things really get spiced up. So basically how the upper yard was taken over by Enru and the priest about a while ago. I think it was like 200 years ago, a long time ago, right? It was taken over, and then there was a group that it got taken over from. It was from this man that you see on the screen, White Bear, and his group. Their group was about, I think, like 70 people deep. They had, well, no, they had more, but a lot of them got killed. But as of like the present, like during this time period, their group was about 70 people. And this was the people's homeland before Enru and the priest took over. They were from a god, a previous god, and it was just their homeland. Is where they lived, and yeah, that's what the upper yard was. It was their homeland, and they were warriors, and obviously like they were struggled to get food and everything. And yeah, and they actually discovered the city of gold, all that stuff. It was so basically it was true. The man that below that sent Luffy and the others up into the upper yard didn't know if it was true or not. And although they lived in the city of gold, but that's when Enru came, and then they took everything over, him and his priest. They took all the gold from the whole city, all that. So there's no gold left right now in the upper yard. But yeah, this was their homeland, and they were still alive. So they ended up hearing about the pirates that came in from the Blue Sea, and they have something called mantra or something like that, where basically they can sense where people are, like how many people are there, and basically, yeah, from them stepping, they're able to sense where they are and how many people they are and all that stuff. Enru actually has that power, and he also has that power to be able to hear the people, whatever they're saying, no matter how far. So that was part of their powers. And yeah, they heard about a priest going down because of the Blue Sea people, the pirates, which was Luffy and them. And they decided it would be a good day to attack and try to take over their homeland back because one of the priests was down. So yeah, that's when they came into play, and from here it just got absolutely insane. This is when the crazy stuff happens. This is when the best part of the arc, all the just crazy plot, just most goated stuff, coolest stuff you'll ever see ever happen. So this is when the survival game started, right? So the survival game was basically Enru's just game, right? The god, right, of the Skyland Island. It was basically just his game because he knew what was happening, because he has the thing called mantra, where he knows that people are coming. So he knew that Wiper's group was coming, and he knew that the Straw Hats were there and all this stuff, right? So basically, but they didn't really know that was happening, right? They were just fighting this Wiper, and then were just fighting to get their homeland back, and Zoro and the other Straw Hats were just trying to get the gold, right? The city of gold, which is in this picture. You see this picture? That's the city of gold, but there's no gold left because Enru took it all, right? So basically, that's what the Straw Hats were after, the gold, right? So throughout that, there was 80 people, right, in the whole thing. It was 7 Straw Hats, but the 7 members, and then the rest of Wiper's men, right? So basically, Enru told some of his subordinates, they were like, after 3 hours, he was telling them that they can make a survival game, right? He was like, there's gonna be 5 people left. That was his prediction, right? And then so 3 hours went by, right? Obviously, people were that was their goal, to take out back the homeland, and not all the people were Wiper's people. There was some of Enru's priests still, and Wiper's people, and then the Straw Hats. So basically, throughout that 3 hours, Sanji, Usopp, and Nami stayed on the boat on the Going Merry, and Enru ended up going to them, right? Because they were with the past god, because the past god was her, and they were taking care of him. And then when Enru was there, his power is lightning. He was basically just unstoppable, right? No one was a match for him the whole time. So when he got there, right, he didn't eliminate many people, but he eliminated Sanjay and Usopp, who just got struck by lightning and just were in critical condition. All this stuff, right? So during that time, also Conus, her father told Conus to go help, right, because he felt bad for what they did to them. So they were struck by lightning, and throughout the whole 3 hours, basically a lot of people went down. A lot of people went down, like just pretty much everyone, right? And then there was there was like 2 hours and 58 minutes, and then there was 6 people left. You see this picture, and then there was like a couple of other people. There was one of the priests and like a couple other people, right? So the priest ended up getting taken out by Zoro, and then there was some other people, and then Enru was like, it's about to be 3 hours, and his prediction couldn't be wrong, so he eliminated the other people, right? So there was 3 hours left, and then 3 hours had gone by, I'm sorry, and then this was what happened. There was 5 people left, right? Enru and these 4 people, right? And actually there was Nami too, right? So there was 5 people, right? And Nami just not in this picture. Nami is hiding somewhere, right, in this area. So, but throughout this whole time though, all the white people got taken out. All of Enru's priests got taken out, right? And then it was just them left. And then, but this whole time, where was Luffy, right? Luffy ended up getting, you know him, in every situation, every arc, he's just always in a dumb spot for no reason. Always just gets in such just most stupid situations, and he can't help for literally no reason, right? So he basically got stuck in a gigantic python, which is a snake, right? He basically got swallowed, right? And that's where he was the whole time. He couldn't get out, right? So during that time, when there was a couple people left, there was these people with like 10 minutes left of the 3 hours. It was these people, the giant snake, one of the priests, and a couple of other people. Some of python. I don't know why I said python. Some of Wiper's men, and all that, right? So when that was happening, right, the snake was still fighting. Nami and the god that you see to the left, who was the previous god, the person next to Wipers on the left, right, they ended up getting also the snake ended up getting them, right, and they were going in. They got swallowed. They didn't get bitten, so they were able to survive, right? And inside the snake was just a bunch of like the islands, right? Because he, I guess, ate some of the island, but it was a little bit of gold actually too, and what you call it. So they saw Luffy there, and then they made a perfect escape route. They were able to get out of there, right? Because the god had like a flying thing, like a flying that he flies on, like an animal. It was like a horse slash pigeon. I don't even know what it was, right? And then while they were doing that, but of course Luffy fell off, right? So basically, so everyone got out except for Luffy and this other kid who was one of Wiper's like little kid who was part of like the their people, right? So so they got out, right? And then as you see in this picture, like during this time the 3 hours were up, and then that was it. There was 5 people left, but Luffy was still in the snake, right? So basically Enru was like, you can either come with me to my new world, because Enru's plan was to destroy the whole Sky Island. He was going to destroy the whole Sky Island and all this stuff. But in previous, like 10 minutes before this, because you see how it was in the city of gold, right? It was just Robin here by herself. So Enru came and was like, it was a beautiful city, right? All this stuff. He was like telling her how he has all the gold, but he doesn't have the bell, because they don't know where the bell is. Because the bell was basically a gold bell who back in the day when it was the city of gold, they would ring it every day. And it stopped ringing when Enru did all this, so people were just like didn't know if it was real, right? All this stuff they didn't know because it was in the sky too, right? So well, it was in the on the ground, right? And then it went to the sky, so that's when like people were like it was never real, all this stuff, right? So they is the only goal that Enru doesn't have, right? And they were like he was like, I know where it is though, and I'm gonna get it before I leave after while I'm destroying the Sky Island, right? So basically, they were like, you can come with me to my new island since you guys won the game, right? And you guys can come be my subordinates, my loyal underlings, whatever. And then they were all just like, no way, all this stuff. So basically, all 4 of them got taken out by Enru just so easily. Like I said, Enru was just untouched up to this point for the longest, right? Even though Wiper got a pretty good shot on him, it just was still nothing, no match whatsoever. And basically, when that happened, they all got basically struck by lightning. And by his lightning, and they were just all done out for the count, right? So then it was just Nami left. He was like, are you coming with me or not? So Nami obviously had no choice, had to go with him, right? So he brought her to a boat, right? A ship, right? And then he was just like, Nami was scared, she wanted to escape, all this stuff, but just didn't know how. So it was a flying ship. It was the biggest, most crazy ship. All his subordinates built it for him. So his subordinates built him the ship, and on the ship was the gold. They made it out of gold. Well, most of it was made out of gold, and from the city of gold. And during that time, he was like, all right, we're leaving. all this stuff. And while he was destroying the Sky Island, because that was his goal, he was gonna destroy the Sky Island and leave. And meanwhile, all these people think that they worshipped him, they thought he was God, thought they were doing good by him, all this stuff, right? So during this time, Conus knew that was happening, right? So he because they found out because they were taking care of Nami and them on the ship, and then some random person, like just like someone from Wipers Group, was like, tell all the Sky Island he's gonna destroy it, we built him a ship, and all this stuff. So she had to go back from protecting Sanji and Luffy, Sanji and Usopp. And then she went to like the Sky Island, like the towns and all that stuff, and told them everything. They were like, and then some people were like, I knew it, like he was gonna do this. They were like, I heard bad news about Enru and God and all that stuff, and they were all shook, right? Because they knew it was gonna be destroyed. And like then all of a sudden lightning just started coming from the ground, and things just started breaking apart, all in the town, right? So they started to like go to their escape route, right? So during this time, Conus had to went back to the ship because like they had to tell the Straw Hat people and help them escape too, right? Because she felt bad and that's what she had to do, right? So during this time, that's when Nami was on the ship, right, the flying ship, and it was like, how do I escape and all this stuff, right? So then finally, Luffy gets out of the snake, right? He got out of the snake, just in time, right? So he gets out and he sees all their bodies on the ground, these 4 people, because that's where the snake was. Because before that, they were like 2 hours and 55 minutes into the 3 hours, they were like, this was the last fight, right? They were right where they are, right? There was a couple more people, right, including the snake and one of the priests and a couple of Wipers men, and even Chopper and like some other people, even though Chopper was down for the count, right? And so he got there and he was like, Robin, wake up. And Robin was actually part awake, so he told her what was happening. He was like, Navigator, because that's what Robin calls Nami, was with Enru on the ship and all that stuff. He plans on destroying the Sky Island, but he has to get the gold bell first on his way, right? So all this stuff, and then Luffy says thank you and all this stuff, right? And then he sets out for the ship, right? And then he's like, and he had that a little kid with him that was also stuck in the stake. It was one of Wipers, just part of their like town or whatever, just part of like their people, right? Who was also with them, and he had the Monorail sense, so he was able to find out where they were, right? So he was going to them, and also Enru has the Monorail sense. So as Luffy was coming, he was like, he felt someone coming, but he didn't know who it was, and he was just like, who could that be, right? So Luffy ended up getting there, right? And that's who it was, right? So he was just like, and then Enru was mad because he was like, I predicted 5 people, but instead there were 6 people, so he was mad. So obviously they started fighting, whatever, right? It was a crazy fight. The lightning wasn't affected on Luffy as much because Luffy had the devil fruit, and he's made out of rubber. So while this was happening, the fight started. Here it was, Luffy versus Enru, the fight that everyone's been waiting for, the fight that everyone knew would come down to the whole arc, all of it, right? So Luffy got on the ship, the flying ship, and they started fighting, right? So they started fighting. It was a good fight. Luffy wasn't affected as much as other people because it wasn't affected by the lightning too much because of his devil fruit, because he's made out of rubber, right? So they were fighting. As you can see in this picture, he got good kicks on him. He was pretty hurt, all this stuff, right? So as I said, there's a lot of gold on the ship, right, from the City of Gold, right? And Luffy literally punched through like a really, really big gold ball and got his hand stuck in it, right? So as they were fighting, he had to deal with that, right? So they were fighting, right? Nami's watching the whole time, obviously rooting for him, right? And then Luffy ended up hurting him really bad, but he also ended up getting hit off the ship, right? So it was a flying ship, and during this whole time, it was a flying ship, and the whole Sky Island was getting destroyed. It was getting destroyed. Things were coming apart from Enru's lightning and just everything that he planned out, right? So he was like, so that happened, right? And during that time, he was like, he knew that Nami was rooting for Luffy and like betraying him, basically, right? And he already knew that, though, kind of, because he already knew that she was part of the Straw Hats. And then he so once Luffy got hit off the ship, right, he was trying to find his way to get back on it, right? And also Luffy, he always gets stuck in predicaments, right? The gold ball was really big. He was stuck under the gold ball for a little bit, right? Trying to get back there, right? So during this time, Sanji and Usopp also woke up, right? And then they were like, they saw the flying ship, right? Because it was flying over their boat. The whole Sky Island was basically able to see the ship, right? So they used binoculars, and they saw Nami was hanging by the side of the ship, right? And so he had to go, right? Because Usopp's a simp and everything. And then they got up there from Usopp's like rope thing, and then while they got onto the ship, obviously Enru knew they were coming, but he didn't know who exactly they were because he has the Monorail thing. And then they split up like in the ship and was like, meet at the top and we're gonna save Nami, right? And then that's what they did because they knew about the Monroe, right? And then while they did that, Usopp got there first, and Sanjay was really late, and Usopp was like, "Where's Sanjay?" And Sanjay hadn't got there yet, right? So Sanjay, actually, while he was doing that, went to like the engine and all that stuff, and basically like malfunction. That was the word I was looking for. The ship, right? Basically made the engine mess up, and basically the ship got slower, and it was about to break and all this stuff, right? So then they finally got there, and then when that happened, Sanji got struck by lightning, and then Usopp was getting beat up really bad too, and then but out of nowhere, Nami got on her jet ski thing, and then grabbed Usopp and grabbed Sanji, and they escaped off of the ship, right? So while that was happening, Enru went back to check on the ship, right? He basically fixed whatever problem it was, and the ship was still going, not as fast as it was, but pretty good, right? So during this time, that's when Luffy was able to get out of the predicament that he was in, and under the gold ball, and he knew that Enru had to stop and get the gold bell, right? And during that time, Nami and them, like, they all met up, and then Zoro was awake. Everyone ended up waking up again, right? And then they basically all got to the same spot, and we're like, Luffy, let's they were like, actually no, Luffy was actually climbing up to the gold bell, right? But they were telling them what was happening, how the Skyline was about to be destroyed, how they wouldn't be able to escape and everything, right? And then they were like, all right, let's escape and all this stuff, right? So then Nami went up to get Luffy and was telling him the situation. Luffy was like, no, I need to ring the gold bell, all this stuff. He didn't really care about being in Enru too much, right? But he had to ring the gold bell, all this stuff, to let the people down low know on the Blue Sea that it wasn't all for nothing, that the City of Gold does exist, all this stuff, right? And that your island did get pushed up into the sky, all this stuff, right? So because they helped them get there in the first place, so that Luffy had to do that. So during that time, it was hard to do that, right? With the gold ball, right? Still hanging in his hand, right? Literally going up this thing, right? It was up like a tree, basically, you can call it, but it's a really, really big tree, and that the gold bell was on top of that, right? So Enru wanted the gold bell, so that's where they met up again. Nami went up to tell him let's escape, but Luffy said no, like I said. So then basically while that was happening, he rang the gold bell, and Enru met him there, but they were fighting, and then he was able to ring the gold bell, so the people down low heard that, and it was really good. So there it is, y'all. Basically, everything over. The whole arc is over. Luffy and the Straw Hats saved the whole Sky Island. The Sky Island is thankful, right? All this stuff. So basically, a lot of gold fell off of Enru's ship when that happened, and they had all the gold and all this stuff, right? So basically, as their last thing, right, at the end of the day, they're pirates. So basically, they stole all the gold, right? And then they left off of their ship, through their ship, down into the Blue Sea. They, however they were going to escape, I think is also how they left. And, yeah, they got to the Blue Sea, and they landed. They used a floating octopus, now that I remember correctly, a floating octopus, and the octopus ended up, like, crashing, like popping, right, because it was full of air, and it hit the Blue Sea pretty hard, and then they were surrounded by Marine forces as soon as they left. So I think it was a 10 episode filler that was, but it was also a really good filler. It wasn't even like filler, so I recommend you guys watch that. So yeah, that was the arc, and that's how it went, y'all. It's crazy. Alright, y'all. So let's get into the characters and the fight setting and plot and ending. So as you see up on the screen, I'm giving Luffy a 10 for this arc. He was absolutely unbelievable, just goated, they saved the whole thing, right? Zoro, I'm giving it 8.5, although Zoro is probably my favorite character in One Piece. Actually, probably second to Luffy, but he's probably my second favorite character of anime all time. So, he wasn't that too effective this arc. He was decent. He obviously had better moments. He was decent. Nami was absolutely unbelievable. Her and Luffy carried. They were just, Nami never went down once by lightning. She did everything she had to do. It was great. Sanji, I give him an 8 just because he came in clutch, fucking up Enru's ship at the end. But other than that, he was pretty much out for the count. Same with Usopp, so that's why I give him a 7.5, because he came in a little clutch at the end. Robin was a 9. She was the first one to find the City of Gold and all that stuff, and she was able to tell Luffy Luffy what was going on, where the bell was and everything. Chopper, I'm giving it a 7. He didn't really do anything. Conus, I'm giving it a 9 just because she ended up being clutch, even though she betrayed us at first, and it is what it is. Wiper, I'm giving it 8.5. He was really dope and was cool as fuck. The only reason why I'm not is because I didn't want to give him more than Zoro, because I don't feel like he did more than Zoro, but he was cool. And Enru, I'm giving him a 10. He was a great villain. I really messed with him. He was good. All his ideals and everything were like just like spot on for the arc and all that. The fights, I'm giving it a 10. The fights were really good. The setting, I'm giving it a 9 because it was just, I feel like there could have been a little bit of a better setting, but it was good. It was planned out pretty really well. The plot was again 10. I thought it was amazing, and the ending, I'm giving it 10. So I mean, if I have to rate this, I mean, I'm giving it probably a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 is what I'm giving this arc. In the comments down below, let me know what you guys would have rated the characters throughout this arc. Let me know what you guys would have rated the fights, the setting, the plot, and the ending. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear your guys' opinions just to see if we're on the same page. I know this wasn't one of the best arcs. A lot of people don't like this arc as much as, obviously because there's much better arcs in One Piece, but a lot of people don't like this arc too much, but I truly did enjoy it. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright, y'all. If y'all made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with me throughout that whole thing. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know it wasn't the greatest One Piece review arc that you're gonna find on YouTube, but you know, I'm just gonna start it with this stuff, and so same with me and my group. We're really dedicated into this. We really want this bad. We really love doing it because we all love anime. As you guys can see in the background, y'all see all that stuff and y'all see this shit. But yeah, we really do, and you know, we're just trying our best. I know our editing's gonna get better, all that stuff, quality, just all that stuff. We're just trying to figure it all out, getting video ideas out there, having fun with it too, just all that stuff. It's pretty much just for fun and all this stuff. Obviously, we want to go far with it, and we're gonna grind to go far with it. But it's at the end of the day, it's all just for fun, just because we love anime and love to talk about anime. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, just leave a like. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what kind of video you guys want to see too, all of us. Some of us, we're going to have solo videos and be posting on the channel because we'll all be watching different stuff, and someone will watch this, someone will watch that, and we want to have a video on it. So, like me, they all finished One Piece, and I'm currently watching One Piece, so I'm going to be doing all arc reviews, and I promise you, each arc review is going to get better, edited-wise, talking-wise, all of it. So yeah, I know that it wasn't the greatest video that you're probably going to find on YouTube with a One Piece review, but just know I tried, and I really did hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.